scares us to death. You don't know we're scared because it's dark, but our eyeballs are bugging out of our head. We're waiting for the axe to split our head wide open. It's in the garage, she said to me. It's in the garage. I heard a noise in the garage. Listen, listen. What if he's escaped from somewhere? She said to me, what if he's escaped from somewhere? Then she said, what if he has a chainsaw? Then she shoved me out of bed and said, go see. Ladies, you need to think. If there's a guy in my garage with a chainsaw, how effective can I possibly be ejecting his hide from the garage when I'm sporting a pair of tighty-whities? Hey, hey. Hey, you with a chainsaw. Get out of here. Snap. Now, I see some faces out there kind of puckered up. Have no idea why you're puckered up. Maybe you're going, he's in church and I heard him say underwear. Bless your heart. Or maybe you're thinking, he's trashing his wife. His poor wife is at home. He's telling all these stories. This is one of the reasons we've stayed married. We laugh about this stuff. I told that story in front of 11,000 people in Indianapolis, Indiana. I came to sit down. My wife was laughing so hard she couldn't even breathe. I said, baby, you have heard that story 100 times. What has gotten into you? And she said, it just hit me. She said, I have seen your underwear. She's got tears in her eyes. She said, I think you could hold off a guy with a chainsaw. So, even a shorter time ago, are you still listening, Cody? Hang in there, buddy. Even a shorter time ago, I am almost asleep. I have almost reached that place that we men love to go. You know that moment just before you go to sleep when your body goes. And the cat hits the wall. I was right there, and I heard this. Are you awake? I said, not now. And she said, Cody, please call me. You're going to hear it. I've been thinking. I said, well, I've been sleeping. She said, you don't share your feelings. How many men feel their heart seize in fear at that statement? You don't share your feelings anymore. Ladies, can I give you one more piece of advice? We don't have feelings. We have a remote control. That's all we need. Now, here's the truth. I love this woman, and I will do anything. We laugh about all of this stuff, but when she says that, of course I'm upset that she has waked me out of a sound sleep. Of course I want to try and help calm her down, basically so that she will go to sleep, so that my leg will stop jumping. I want that to happen. I want to be a better husband. So I think about it, and I think about how can I do this? I know I can't do it the way she wants me to. You know that men just don't come home and go, oh, today at work, a deep sadness I felt in my stomach, and it came up, and then tears flowed down. So we're in Jacksonville, Florida. We're caught at a red light, a huge intersection. And I looked across the way there, and across the street was a place that I can't eat anymore. How many of you were here when I was here last time? Okay, those of you who were here last time may have noticed that there's about 47 pounds of me that I did not bring with me this time. I'm going to tell you about this story, the whole story, because that's part of what I want to talk to you about tonight. It's part of the adventure of living fully alive that I want to share with you tonight. But one of the reasons that I lost the 47 pounds is that I do not go into that place anymore. In that place, I'm like an alcoholic. What they sell, I cannot eat just one. I must eat everything in sight. And it must be hot, and it must be gooey. And then I want another one. And then I just want to lick the goo off another 12. I can't eat there anymore. And then it hit me. That's sad. And then it hit me. That's a feeling. I'm going to share that puppy. So, I shared it, but I shared it the way we men share feelings. Short and to the point. I said the name of the place with great emotion. Dunkin Donut. And she said, "What?" Now that ticked me off. Here I had just poured my heart out to this woman. And she's going, "What?" So I said, "Dunkin Donut." She said, "What?" I said, "Dunkin Donut." She said, "What?" And within seconds, doesn't it happen fast, friends? We're at each other like a couple of cats in a garbage bag. And I turned to her, and I wish I could say I was kind, but I was not. I said to her, "Baby, what part of Dunkin Donut don't you understand?" And she turned on me just as angry and said, "Ken, don't condone what?" I said, "I didn't say don't condone it. I said Dunkin Donut. There's a difference." I want the truth. It's a whole generation of young people that need to know when you hit a speed bump in marriage, don't jump out. hang in there. I know sometimes it just seems like there's no out. And if you're divorced, I'm not putting a bad finger in your face. I'm just saying we need to realize that good marriage is filled with conflict. Life is filled with conflict and difficulty. That's all I'm saying. So I'm telling you now the truth about myself, which is I am an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. And number two, number two. Cody. When I look down and see that you're 16 and have your life in front of you, son, I just want to slap you. You see, Cody, you have a brain. You have a brain. You can remember stuff. You don't have to stop and think. You know, I'm an idiot, and I want to tell the truth. How hard is it to remember? I don't want to be lied to. How hard is that to remember? And I see, as I lose my place, I see you looking at me, Cody, like, good grief, what is wrong with him? I am old. And someday, Cody, you're not going to be 16. You're going to wake up and you're going to be 55, and you're going to walk into a room, make a little circle like a dog looking for a place to lay down. Because you're trying to remember why you came into the room, Cody. You hear that laughter, Cody? Yeah. That's old people. Am I right, folks? Yeah. How many of you leave the room and come back hoping that'll trigger something? So I want the truth. Here's another thing you can know about me. Put all of these together. I'm an idiot. I want the truth. And I can't keep my mouth shut. Put all of that together and then put me in an airport and see what happens. I have been in more trouble. It's like I should have zipped it with the guy at the runway. When I crashed, why would I say to him, well, why don't you check on my passenger? Yeah, how stupid is that? But when I see things that aren't right, I go berserk. I was in the airport the other day. They had chosen a 90-year-old woman in a wheelchair for secondary screening. They tried to get her to do the thing where you stand up and they take naked pictures of you. They couldn't get her to stand up. And this was the second time she had been screened. Evidently, there was something dangerous looking about this woman. Drives me nuts. And by the way, I have a lot of friends who work in the industry. Drives them nuts too. Because they just want to use common sense. But I ain't saying nothing. I hate jail. I was going through one time, and they ran that thing over me, that spanking thing. Looks just like what my mom used to spank me, except it's got music and little lights. It's got some of them have little lights in it. And again, I wouldn't tell you that if it wasn't true. It was going over me, and when it reached right here, it went beep, 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 beep. The international sound of a security alert. The man said, pull up your sleeve. I pulled up my sleeve. And he said, what is that? I said, in Tennessee, we call that a watch. Now, I should have stopped there, but my lips were already moving. I said, this one's got a lifetime guarantee. When it quits, a little razor blade comes out and slits your wrist. That's the wrong answer. I now know what a full body search is. There is not a man or woman sitting in this room who wants to have a full body search. It is not right. So they're going over this woman, and I just keep my mouth shut. I was there when the whole thing first started, way back when. I remember one time another guy said, "Put your luggage on that table. Now you stand over there." You know, I just have one request. Be nice to me. I ran into one of the nicest guys in Denver not long ago. He was nice to me. But this guy, he had a patch on his shoulder and a chip on that one. "Put that there." He said, "Now you stand over there." I went over there, stood over there, and he's digging through my luggage. I didn't say nothing, but my shoulders were heaving. I was laughing. I had been gone for 47 days. That was bad luggage. There were undies in there I was afraid of. And he's taking them out, laying them on the table in front of 250 people. I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Hey, you want to see a security risk?" There's a security risk right there. Some of you may remember these days. He drove into my luggage and he goes, "What are these?" He found a pair of fingernail clippers. "What are these? What are these?" His eyes were flashing with excitement. Said, "In Tennessee, we call those fingernail clippers." He said, "What are you going to do with them?" He asked. I said, "I thought maybe after the aircraft took off, I could work my way through the fuselage with them." That's the wrong answer. I saw the look on his face. I just found a little room and got naked by myself. I knew they would send somebody in sooner or later. That joke is over, man. No, you have to laugh with the rest of the people. Now, here's the truth. Here's the truth. Remember, I said that I'm not right? And remember that I said I want people to tell the truth? And do you remember that I also said that that other thing? Here's another thing I want to tell you. I love to laugh. And I'll tell you what, I would love for you to travel with me all over the country and just move around the audience. Because I'll take someone who can't stop laughing any day over those people that walk around looking like they swallowed a profusely sweating toad. And I don't know where you stand as far as your faith in God is concerned, but I'm going to tell you, if you claim to be a follower of Jesus, you can't have a face like that. You cannot. I've been a Christian for 27 years. It's been great. I want to say, well, send some missionaries to your face. Your face has not yet received the good news. We have a bad reputation. We have a bad reputation. I believe people ought to be breaking down the doors to our homes, if you're a follower of Christ, to our churches, to find out what the celebration is all about. We don't know how to celebrate. See what? Hey, Aaron, you back there? You are freaking me out, dude. How long have I been going, Aaron? 50 minutes. Oh, wow. You're so much fun. I went too long. I'm sorry. This show's over. You have been a blast. I just want to say this. Aaron, and you can get close here because I'm going to close her up. But I want to say this to you. We ought to be more like dogs. No, I'm deadly serious. I'm not talking about sniffing each other. I am talking about the fact that a dog is a man's best friend. In fact, a dog is a woman's best friend. Who has a dog? Real quick. What do you have? Shepherd. German Shepherd? Great dog. Who else has a dog? Let me see your hands. Over here. What do you have, ma'am? Right here on the edge. Maltese. It's not a dog. Look at me when I'm talking to you. How big is the Maltese? Pretty small. Is this your husband here? About 5 pounds. You the man. This guy's got a shepherd. A German Shepherd. He can put a sign in his yard. You can't put a sign in your yard. This home protected by Maltese. Malt, which means smooth drink, and tease, which means I don't bite. Did you know that a Maltese, I know this, can kill a shepherd? Get caught in his throat. That's why you see shepherds all over the country going, Maltese. I got him at Taco Bell. You love that shepherd, don't you? Right? I don't care how little that dog is or how worthless that dog is. You love that little dog because they are filled with love and excitement for you. You can't discourage these animals. You cannot discourage them. You can be gone for 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 hours, 5 months. You come home, and they will be there at the door with their nose to whatever little crack is allowing them to know that you're home. And when you open the door, they explode in joy. Whoa! 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 Come and see what I have done. You see this lady back here? Her husband will not sleep tonight. Because I think she's doing this from about 3 jokes back. Are you having fun, folks? Now, I am here to tell you that a little bit of what you feel when laughter comes to your life is possible. When laughter comes to your face, by the way, is possible for your life. We're going to talk about that in the second half of this program. We're still going to have, it's hilarious, the second half. But I want to let you know that what I felt coming down that hill on that sled, that feeling of pain and blood and excitement is possible in your life. I'll give you a little hint of what's coming. I am almost 65 years old, and I am living a life more full than I have lived in the last 40 years of my life. And I'm going to tell you the secret about what happened. My notes. Same as my brain. Lady looked out the window of her home one day. She was horrified. Their German Shepherd was tearing the life out of the neighbor's rabbit. They'd have trouble, this neighbor, through the years, and she knew this was going to make matters a lot worse. So she ran outside, and she grabbed a broom on the way out, and she beat on the dog until he dropped the rabbit, which was now covered with dog spit and extremely dead. She gently picked up the rabbit on the end of the broom and brought it into the house and dumped it in the bathtub and turned on the shower. Rinsed it off, and then she tipped it over with the broom and rinsed it off on the other side. She went and got her hairdryer and blew the rabbit dry, and then found an old brush and combed him out until he looked pretty good. And when the neighbor was not looking, she crawled over the backyard fence and she propped the rabbit up in its cage so that they would never be blamed for this. She went back in the house. A couple hours later, she heard screaming, terrible screaming, coming from the yard. She ran outside, pretending like she didn't know what happened. "What happened?" she said. "What happened? What has happened?" All of the blood had drained from her neighbor's face. She said, our rabbit, he died 2 weeks ago, and we buried him, and he's back." In the last couple years of my life, as I have begun to talk about living fully alive, I have run into hundreds and hundreds of people who have said to me that life for them is kind of like being a fluffed up dead rabbit. That somehow there is a sense that they're not getting out of life what they wanted. I did a little story on my blog. I would love to have you come to my website and just read those little things and sign up for them the other day. And the title of the story was, I Want to Live. I don't know about you. I want to live. I don't want to just make a living. I want to live. At this stage in my life, I don't want to coast into oblivion. I want to live. I can't tell you the thrill that I felt that day coming down that mountainside, hearing the giggles and screams of my grandchildren. I cannot tell you the thrill of watching them wipe out and then passing them. You heard me as I passed them. For me to beat all of them down the hill. I cannot tell you how wonderful it is. Going down that hill, feeling the wind in your face, praying to God, "Oh, Lord, please don't let the UPS truck pull out in front of me." And the crash. It's funny that when you're living, the crash is part of living. The pain is part of living. The bloody nose is part of living. If you live easy, if it's just leisure,